Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? How is everybody feeling? Today's video is actually a conclusion of the yama and niyamas of what I was working on a few years ago. And then my YouTube has some issues. I had some issues with signing in, and there was a moment in my life where I didn't have access to my YouTube. But I have over 300 videos on YouTube, but I'm trying to be more consistent now that I'm not having any YouTube issues, although earlier I did with my YouTube live, but that's neither here nor there. Sometimes you just have to just go with the flow. And anyway, moving on to the actual point of the video. Today's video is a part of the 8 limbs of yoga. Previous videos, I discussed most of the yamas and niyamas, and the 8 limbs of yoga. Just to recap for those who may be new to it, it's really about taking yoga off the mat and balancing your life with these types of practices, because yoga is not just a physical practice. You're not just on the mat doing physical postures and moving and meditation, although it is a part of the 8 limbs of yoga. It's actually the third one. It's asana. And then there's pranayama, which is the fourth one. And there's meditation, since withdrawal. So there's so much stuff that you do practice on the mat, but then you take it off the mat. So today I'm going to conclude with Asteya. Asteya, which is non-stilling. That is part of the yama. Yama is the first step of the 8 limbs of yoga. And your yama is your ethical standards. I'm also going to be discussing Isvara Pranidhana, and that is that is the niyama, and that is more of a personal thing, more of your self-discipline. So you have your self-discipline, and then you have the ethical moral standards of the world, which is the yama. So there's lots of information on it. So I'm not going to go too far into it because you can do your own research. I've read the Patanjali's sutras maybe 2-3 times, and I tend to gravitate towards that, especially if I'm feeling a little lost or I need to get back on my discipline when it comes to the 8 limbs of yoga. I usually gravitate towards that book. So, but there's a lot of information, not just coming from me. This has been out hundreds of years, but I do find it is very, very helpful to have some type of routine, some type of structure in your life. And when you think about it, people are out here wilding out. People are out here wilding out. They're not really valuing other people, valuing themselves. There's a lot of people that have lost their human touch, especially with social media. So the whole point of me doing this is, yes, to provide information, but also allow people to really get back in tune with themselves. A lot of people are disconnected from themselves because they're so connected with other things. They're probably more connected with social media and stuff like that, but they're losing the human touch. They're losing it so much where the empathy, the emotional intelligence, manners, there's just certain things, there's a lot of things that is just not making sense. And it's kind of sad, because back in the day, more people were a little more polite, more understanding towards other people and not just thinking about themselves. So more compassionate. And the thing about it is, if people got in tune with themselves, became more self-aware, and treated themselves better, take good care of themselves, you'll have more to offer to other people. You'll be in a better mood. You'll treat yourself better. You treat people better. The relationship with yourself would be better. So I get pretty passionate about this because as an empath, I do feel the heaviness of the world, but at the same time, it's heavy because people are not doing certain work. We can't expect for things or expect other people when we're lacking. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. So, yeah. Anyways, getting back to the video, because I will go on a whole nother thing and then forget the whole purpose of this video. So, Asteya. Asteya is, so of the yamas, right? And again, if you need to go back to my previous videos, so there's ahimsa, which is nonviolence and compassion towards all. Satya, which is truthfulness and honesty. Asteya, which is what I'm going to be discussing more of, non-stealing of material goods, time, energy, and not just of stealing material goods. And then there's brahmacharya, which that can be referred to moderation. It can also be referred to celibacy. And then there's aparigraha, non-possessiveness, and lack of greed. So a lot of those I already discussed, but I did not discuss the Asteya as of yet. So Asteya is non-stealing of material goods, non-stealing of time or energy. A lot of people don't practice this. A lot of people are very, very wasteful and just not considerate of other people. For example, the holidays just passed. Unfortunately, a lot of us experience theft, right? There's people stealing your packages. There's people stealing your mail. This has happened to me. It's very unfortunate because I have clients who are so generous and very kind. Not that I expect anything from them. And for anyone to take away from me or my clients all the hard work that they're putting in with their training sessions, all the hardworking money that they earned or saved, it's just, come on now. You're stealing something from someone for whatever benefit you may need at that time. But in the long run, is it really worth it? We're in this world where you can make money. But why? What's the reason for stealing? It's just unfortunate. I've even lived in situations where I've caught people stealing, where you would confront them and they're just like, why are you going through my stuff? Why are you going through my stuff? Why are you going through my stuff? But besides the stuff, because stuff is stuff, right? Stuff is stuff, it can always be replaced. One of my pet peeves is when people waste my time. And honestly, this is why I've stopped dating. This is why I've been very short and very to myself when it comes to the whole dating thing. Because right now, I feel like we're not in a time for that. Now everybody's timing is different. It ain't my time. I'm not a dater. I don't like wasting time. I don't like being in a situation where I feel like someone is trying to take advantage of me. They're not really in tune. They're just trying to steal my time, steal my energy, and take something that is precious to me. No. Y'all be careful out there, especially us women. Be careful out there. There's a lot of abusers, users, predators out there who they will say and do anything because they want what they want. And even if it's not necessarily a physical thing, they might just want access to you because they love your energy. But your energy is precious. Your time is precious. So just be careful on where or who you give that time to. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter if you're nice or not. You can be nice, but you don't have to be nice to everybody. You just don't. And so don't do it. But Asteya, non-stealing. All right. So make sure that the stuff that you don't want for you're not doing it too. You're not the one out there wasting people's time. You're not the one stealing from people, stealing, people's belongings, their energy or whatever. Be mindful of that. Be mindful, because sometimes It's not just other people. Sometimes you can be the problem too. All right, moving on, because I'm already at 10 minutes with this video / podcast. Isvara Pranidhana, surrender. Isvara Pranidhana is a part of the niyama. The niyama focuses more on your self-discipline and not like the outside world, not like the like your morals or ethics, but more so your inner practices that help your personal growth. I did discuss all the other ones because they have 5 of them. Saucha, which is cleanliness of the body, mind, and environment. Santosha, contentment and acceptance of your current circumstances. Tapas, which is self-discipline, willpower, your spiritual heat. Swadhyaya, your self-study and the study of sacred scriptures. And then today I'm talking more about Isvara Pranidhana, which is surrendering to a higher power or the divine. Now, having faith doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be religious, because some people have this misconception that yoga is a religion, and it's not. It's a practice. Now, you can tie in your practice with whatever you want. Yoga is what you make out of it. Not everybody will practice yoga the same way. Not every instructor will instruct yoga the same way. So you want to find a practice that works for you. There's different types of yoga practices. There's different types of ways you can incorporate yoga, whether if it's on the mat, off the mat. For me, Isvara Pranidhana, surrendering, having that faith that everything will be okay. Sometimes we get into that mode where we need to control everything, and we might want things to be done specifically. There might be a goal or something that we want so badly that we end up not really enjoying the journey in the long run because things did not come out our way. And it shouldn't be that way. It should be, no matter what the outcome is, I'm going to put my efforts into it because I am willing to go through the changes. I'm not going to focus so much on the outcome. I'm going to surrender, let things go, and let things flow. Let things go, let things flow. You don't have to have a structured type of routine or way of living to thrive. Sometimes we have to let things go. Sometimes we don't let things go, and guess what? It's more harm than anything. So allow yourself to let things go. That can be letting go of bad habits. But what do you need to do? You need to surrender. You know, sometimes when we go through changes, we go into almost like that panic mode, but give yourself grace. You know, give yourself grace. Give it, you know that saying, give it to God? Give it to God. Give it to whoever you believe in, and have faith that things will work out, because things will work out. Maybe it will not work out in your favor, but it will work out. So keep that in mind. It's not that you're giving up, because giving up is a whole nother thing, right? Sometimes you have to give in, not give up. You can give in, but giving in does not mean you're giving up. So allow yourself to surrender. When you're in Shavasana, for example, right? So you're in Shavasana, you're lying all the way flat. You had a real yummy yoga practice. You're feeling good. You're feeling confident. Then you lie down, and then you have all these thoughts going on. Your brain's working. That's what your brain is supposed to do. But surrender. Allow yourself to visualize those thoughts, and especially thoughts that's not serving you in the moment. Let it go. Be in the present. That's another thing. Be in the present. When you allow yourself to let things go, you give it to the higher power. You let it float on. Bring yourself here in the now. What can you do in the here and the now that's going to help you? Because stressing about things, that's what is that going to do? How is that going to help? You know, and there's many ways. There's many different ways where you can surrender. Sometimes just sitting down and relaxing, meditating. focusing on your breath, giving yourself that moment to breathe and connect within, and allowing yourself to sit with your feelings, let it go. But yes, this video is now a little over 15 minutes. I just wanted to come on here and conclude with that, because I was looking at my videos and I'm just like, I don't think I ever completed that. But like I said, I am trying to be as consistent as I can so I can release these videos and also have other stuff going on, because as you can see with my 300 videos, there's videos from yoga, there's workout videos, there's talks about self-growth. Again, this is getting my mojo back. So getting my mojo back in all aspects, mind, body, soul, mojo. Your mojo is your magic. Your magic, right? Whatever you make it out to be. But yeah, thank you so much for listening and tuning in. I will see you in the next video, or I will talk to you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.